Good morning, students of class 12. Today we are going to continue our lesson that is towards independence and partition. So, in the previous class, what we have studied? We have studied about the trade union activities, Kisan Sabha movement, Congress socialists, growth of socialist ideas. Today we are going to study about the growth of communalism. So there is another important development which took place in that period, in the same time, was the growth of communalism in the country. What was the reason of it? The Government of India Act of 1935 provided for provincial autonomy, certain provinces with autonomy, with some restrictions were abided by. The election result showed that the general constituency of the Congress almost swept the poll. They won maximum of the seats. But Muslim League, claiming to be the representative of the Indian Muslims, performed very badly. They did not get that popularity, that support in the elections. So now the election result confronted, something came in the front, some very, you can tell, reality came in the front about the Muslim League and the National Congress with different messages. Now what was it? What was that message? It was very clear that the Congress had the mass base, a strong base among the Hindus, but the Muslim League failed to represent itself as the spokesman of the Muslim community. Why? What was the reason? Because it was not popular among the urban lower middle class people. Urban societies were, it was not so popular. So just to gain the support, now the Muslims League raised its voice. What was that voice? The cry of Islam is now in danger and threat from the impending Hindu Raj. What was the threat? The only slogan was going on that after British, Hindus are going to Raj and we are going to work on the Hindus. This was the impending fear going on among the Muslim after seeing the condition of the results of the elections. So these slogans ultimately created a feeling of hatred among the Muslims against the Hindus, and thus they started to be the follower of the religion, that is the Muslim League, follower of Muslim League. Muhammad Ali Jinnah and the other Muslim League leaders declared that the real aim of Congress was not independence, but to establish a Hindu Raj. That means after Britishers, for whom they are fighting to remove, after them they are going to Raj. That means they are going to rule India, which would be hostile towards the Muslim minorities. The Muslims are going to work under the Hindu Raj. This was the only way to create Hindu-Muslim division. So thus the prospect of a possible Hindu Raj created a deep-seated fear among the Muslim mind. Now what happened? It became very easy to raise the demand for a separate homeland now with this point of view of the Muslim and the supporters of the Muslim League, where the Muslims could live, practice their own religion, their own faith, their own freedom in a separate way, in a separate land, in a separate country. And what was their demand? Their demand was Pakistan. But now the thing is not coming straightly, that is Pakistan. It is a background of formation of the Pakistan. Just the beginning it is. So the demand for Pakistan would inevitably raise by the politics of fear and hatred which created by the Muslim League leaders after 1937. At the Lahore session of 23rd March 1940, Jinnah, who came forward with a two-nation theory. What was that two-nation theory? In India and Pakistan. He said that Hindus and Muslims consisted of two nations, and economically, politically, socially, culturally, and historically, they are different people with different regions. So, what was the statement given by Muhammad Ali Jinnah on the two nation theory? He actually gave the support of the two nation theory with the statement that the two nations consisted of different ideologies on what views? On the views of economically, politically, socially, culturally, historically, and thus they were different people. They were different people with two different regions. So the Muslims of India should have a separate sovereign nation for themselves. They have to be removed out of India. The Muslim League then passed the famous, very famous Lahore Resolution demanding an independent state for Muslims. This is a very important line. Listen carefully. The Muslim League passed the famous Lahore Resolution demanding an independent state for the Muslims because the Hindus and the Muslims were two nations. As a result of this, communalism began to emerge as an organized mass force. On the other side, Hindu communalism also appealed to religion like their Muslim counterpart. Madan Mohan Malviya's place was taken by the leaders like V.D. Savarkar of Hindu Mahasabha and M.S. Golwalkar and of the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh. Golwalkar's book We became the manifesto of Hindu communalism. He mainly mentioned that what was the reasons in which the Hindu communalism entered into. They declared that Hindus were only nation living in India and Muslims should either leave or live as second class citizens. This was very well mentioned, a very critical statement was mentioned in V of Golwalkar's book. Thus, and this was the Hindu communist version of the two nation theory. This was the two nation theory which began with the Hindu versions of communalism. They condemned the National Congress and congressmen for supporting our most inveterate enemies. They started to condemn Congress not to support the enemies. In this way, the political and social atmosphere became vicious. When political and social atmosphere became vicious means it was very problematic. People were very political minded now and everything was unstable. Nothing was united and not going on in a balanced way. So 1940s became the very crucial decisive phase, a time period which was very decisive. Anything destructive can happen of Hindus and Muslim communalism. Here we end this part. The next part also we will start now. The question answers, few notes have already been given to you. Practice it. Few more I will discuss with you. Short questions, keep on practicing in your copies. Start revising the short questions. Start solving the short questions in your copies. We are going to discuss the short questions in the live class also. So keep on writing the short questions in your copies. In 1935 Act and the working of provincial autonomy, Congress and other ministries. The third roundtable conference which met at London in November 1932 without a representative of the National Congress. The discussions ultimately led to the passing of the Government of India Act of 1935. This act established a Federation of India made of British Indian provinces and the Indian states and provided for autonomy with the government responsible to elect the legislature. So what was this? without any representative. The third roundtable conference was without any representative from the people of National Congress. That means they have totally condemned it. The discussion ultimately led to the passing of the Government of India Act, and in this act it was established with the Federation of India made by Indian provinces and Indian states, in which they provided autonomy with a government which was responsible with the elected legislature in every province. In provinces, the ministries would control the department and would remain responsible to the legislature. Thus, the governors were given special executive powers which they could exercise before assenting to bills. The governors were to be aided and advised by the Council of Ministers. The ministers were to be appointed and dismissed by them in their discretion. The members of the provincial legislative assemblies were to be elected directly by the people. The franchise was based on property, qualification, separate electorate, and the system of weightage which were retained. The federal structure of government of India was to be composed with the Governor General and the Council of Ministers. The federal legislature was to be bicameral legislature, in which the Council of States and the House of Assemblies, two bodies will be there, the Council of States and a House of Assemblies. In this federal structure, the ministers were to be chosen by the Governor General only. Now, the Governor General from the British side are only going to choose the ministers. How critical politics they used to play. That means they are going to give their puppet form of government, the government which is only going to work according to the Governor General, according to the British monopolies. So they are giving them the autonomy, but somehow they are having the control of it. So the ministers were to be chosen by the Governor General, and they were to hold the office during his pleasure only. Now see, what a verdict is given here, that Governor General, according to his wish and demand, the ministers are going to hold the office. In the Council of States, the representatives of the native states were to be appointed directly by the rulers. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Defence were reserved exclusively for the Governor General. Such an important department, the Foreign Affairs and Defence, which is the main vein of a country, main veins, we can tell, according to these two things, that is foreign affairs and defense, a country's establishment and base becomes strong. And it was only in the hands of the British. Defense was not given to the Indians, were reserved exclusively for the Governor General to control. In this way, the Dynasty was introduced at the center. This act, what was this act? The act was refused and rejected by the princes, but the Congress and the Muslim League for different reasons. The Muslim League, though criticized the act of Dynasty, which was ready to give it a trial, the Congress condemned the act but was ready to take part in the provincial portion. In certain portions they were going to follow the act, of course under the protest only. Thus both Congress and the League participated in the election of 1937. Thus the federal part was never introduced, but provincial part was put into operation very soon. According to, they told that according to provincial part they are going to put the act into. So in federal part, that means in whole overall union part and central part, it was not active, but in certain provinces it became active. In the election under the Government of India Act, the mandate of the people came in favor of Congress. The Congress swept the polls so far as General Hindu seats were concerned. Out of 38 seats reserved for the Labour, Congress contested 20 seats and won 18 seats. 482 seats were thus reserved for the Muslim seats. The Congress contested with 58 seats. How the election procedure was taking place and how in which region they won. The Congress with 58 seats won only 26 seats. Out of these 26 seats, 19 seats were from Northwest Frontier Province only. The Congress did not get a single Muslim seat in Bombay. Central Province, UP, Sindh and Bengal. For commerce and industry, 56 seats were reserved. The Congress contested in 8 seats and could win only 3 seats. For landholders, 37 seats were reserved. The Congress contested in 8 seats and won in 4 seats. Thus, in 5 provinces, Congress had a clear majority. In Bengal, Northwest Frontier Province, Assam and Bombay, Congress emerged as a single largest party. On the other hand, the performance of Muslim League was not better in these regions. The Muslim League could not get a single seat in Northwest Frontier Province. In Punjab, the Muslim League got only 2 seats out of 84 reserved seats. Thus, Congress formed ministries in 7 provinces out of 11 provinces. The coalition ministry was also formed in 2 other provinces. Only Bengal and Punjab had non-Congress ministries. That means only Bengal and Punjab, the Congress ministries were not formed. So elections were held on different dates with different provincial results in which the charts are given. The Congress ministries, now working of the Congress ministry, how it was working, on what basis? The Congress decided the conditional acceptance of office. On certain conditions they decided to accept the office. The condition was that the governors would not use their special powers to intervene in the functioning of the ministries in any way. The task before the Congress was a tremendous one because of high expectations of the people. The Congress had to function with limited powers and to work under the approval of Governor General. In spite, the Congress ministries introduced a number of popular reforms. There are certain activities of Congress ministries. Now, what are those activities? The Congress was committed to release all the political prisoners, and through the intervention of Gandhiji, 1100 detainees of Bengal were released. In UP, many prisoners, including the Kakori prisoners, were also released. The Congress leaders worked for removing the restrictions on political exiles like few eminent personalities, the reformers Raj Bihari Bose, Prithvi Singh, Maulvi Abdullah Khan, Abani Mukherjee and many others. They could not do much in their respect. The prisoners who were imprisoned by central government could not be released from the Andaman jail. The central government who have imprisoned the prisoners, they were not released. But though under the Congress, they with their power, at somehow 1100 detainees were released with the help of the Congress ministries. The suspension order on the political parties and similar organization was just revoked. The press was granted the right of free citizenship and free criticism, that if any point in media they want to highlight, they are free of it, free of criticism. The Congress ministry in Madras remitted the pending loans taken by the peasants. It was solved. In Bombay and UP, the interest on agricultural loans was also reduced. These were the work of Congress. So much burden and pressure was left out, which was getting resolved by the Congress coming as a ministries. So Bombay Ministry passed in 1938 the Industrial Dispute Act and wages of the mill hands which were increased. License for selling intoxicating drugs were also restricted. The peasant problems was a burning issue. the formation of Congress ministries had generated a new hope among the peasantry, so the Tennessee legislation was taken up in all Congress ruled provinces. Now, in this legislation, in which all Congress ruled provinces, they were working on generating a new hope among the peasantry and providing maximum support to the peasant class. Everywhere efforts were made to protect the peasants from the clutches of the moneylenders, and irrigational facilities were increased. Actually, this was a period of tremendous awakening among the peasants, and they stood behind the Congress. There were certain laws which was passed for the workers. The Congress had always promised a better working condition for the workers. Naturally, the Congress in October 1937 appointed a labor committee which gave a program, and the All India Congress Committee accepted it. This included holiday with pay, leave with pay during sickness, employment insurance to fix minimum wages, recognition of trade union. These were the certain works which was taken. The Bombay Ministry took up the cause of labour and introduced Industrial Dispute Bill to prevent strike and lockouts as far as possible, but this gave a wrong signal to the workers who went on strike. Ultimately, this movement was suppressed with the help of police authority. And another important event took place, which was of massive workers' strike in Kanpur, where 24,000 workers went on the strike demanding higher wages and better living conditions. Ultimately, the dispute was settled by the ministry. In Bengal, Congress supported the jute mill strike. In Tisco, workers' strike at Jamshedpur, Jawaharlal Nehru and Rajendra Prasad acted as arbitrators between the Tata Authority and workers. Thus, what was the ultimate action taken? This movement, which was suppressed with the help of police authority, another important movement take place, which was massive workers' strike. They started to strike, they now became violent. The workers went on strike demanding higher wages, better living conditions, and the dispute was settled by the ministry in Bengal. Congress supported jute mill strike. In Tisco, workers' strike, and Jamshedpur, Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad acted as arbitrators. They supported it between the Tata Authority and the workers. They came as arbitrators, they negotiated and then solved the issue. During this period, another important feature was increased with leftist influence on the working class. In all the Congress ruled provinces, with a vigorous campaign was launched in favor of the prohibition, khadi and hand spinning. At the initiative of the Congress, an All India National Education Conference was organized at Wardha in October 1937. Thus, the conference prescribed free and compulsory education throughout the country for 7 years. Thus, the mother tongue as a medium of instruction and vocational training in a number of provinces, attempts were taken to put into scheme and action. This was taken as a very important part. The conference prescribed free and compulsory education throughout the country for 7 years. Mother tongue as a medium of instruction was very important. Vocational trainings were required. In number of provinces, attempts were taken to put this scheme into action. And the major achievements of the Congress ministries, reduction of salaries of the ministries was done. Welfare scheme for the tribals, jail reforms, when the people who are prisoners, they also have a right to live, and declaration of certain fundamental rights was given. So these were so much important works which were monitored and changed, and reformation brought by the Congress ministries, which was very helpful for Indians. So in till this much we'll study, and question answers few I will give you today. You read it from this part. I will give you the question answers. Okay, so you read it and solve it in your copy. Solve it in your copy. Short questions, few you are getting and few you also solve on your own by reading the book. In the live class we'll discuss it. In the live class, remember, we are going to discuss the short questions from the first part. Few already done and a few which is left out, we'll discuss it. So keep copies in hand in the live class and we are going to discuss and note it down very carefully. So keep the copies in hand. Be ready for the live class also and be careful, attend the live class. Don't miss your live class. Plus I will give you the Google Form revision work. Revision questions I will give you, that you attend and solve it. The answers are already given. The questions which are given to you, those answers are given to you. So solve it. We'll discuss in the live class those also. Okay, so live class is very important. Attend it carefully. Okay, students. Thank you.